All right. Hi, everyone. I am so happy and glad to see you all live there. And I would like to welcome CA Bhavya Chaturvedi. Hi, Bhavya.
Hello, Richa.
Hi, I'm so happy, and I would like to first thank you for taking out that time for us and my followers. I am so happy and glad that you were able to make out this time. I think we were planning for a long time for this kind of a session, and I'm sure the women out there will be benefited out of this particular session. When uh, like this session is on the financial empowerment, and I feel that women out there need some support there. I am so thankful to you that you were able to take out that time.
Yeah, that's my pleasure. And it will be indeed a wonderful opportunity to enlighten some of your followers.
Amazing, thank you so much, thank you. All right, I'll take couple of minutes just to wait for the followers to join in. Okay, there are a couple of them who have joined, and I think we can wait for 1 minute and then we'll start. Is that good to go?
Yep, perfect. That works fine.
All right, all right. All right, Bhavya, I think we should start. Okay. All right. Before going ahead, I would like to introduce CA Bhavya Chaturvedi to all my followers there. I want you to know who he is. Okay. So, CA Bhavya Chaturvedi has a distinguished professional qualifications of chartered accountant. He's a certified internal auditor and certified information systems auditor with 17 plus years of rich experience in statutory and internal auditing, taxation, risk management, governance, and internal controls. He had experience of working in cross-cultural and diverse environment with renowned global organizations that include ICICI Bank, Northern Trust Bank, Capita UK PLC within finance, insurance, and banking domains. At present, he is a partner of Somani and Sudani Chartered Accountant, a CA firm based in Indore. And I would like to welcome you on behalf of my all followers. I would like to give you a warm welcome out there. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Richa, for such an elaborate introduction. And greetings to everyone and good evening across the globe. So, to start with, the topic that has been taken up today is a wonderful topic and it is the need of the hour. So, I strongly feel that women today are waking up to the financial information and they have responsibilities much more than before. So, gone are the times when people used to say that women do not need to earn, or even if they are doing something, it is just as a hobby or a pastime. Gone are those days. They are an equal partner in building their household, not just by their own efforts, but also they contribute financially to the household and ensure well-being of the family, both physically, mentally, and financially.
Okay, amazing, amazing, Bhavya. I think that's actually the need of the hour. That wherein the women needs to be apprised by the fact how they can actually manage their finances. And see, the current scenarios are like this, wherein we have women who are not working, and there are women who are working. Okay, but both these set of women who are working and not working, they are getting the money either by the way of salaries or by the way of kind of a pocket money from their households. Okay, maybe from the husband or father, like that, right? But they are getting the money. But the whole point out here is that it is not about earning the money or getting the money. It is about how do you actually use that money towards securing your own financial future. Okay. And I think the session like this will actually add that value towards, or then, and or probably then enlighten them uh, towards this new awakening that they need to actually plan their future and secure their future to be truly financially empowered, right? And I also certainly believe that that many women in India, they are, however, they are educated, but they do not have any sensitivity or any kind of knowledge, or probably I would say that have some experience on how to manage their financial portfolios. So even if they're earning, their financial portfolios are being managed by either the spouse or their father or their brother, right? So that's one thing again I would like all women out there, whether you are earning or not, you need to manage, you need to actually learn to manage your own financial portfolios towards being empowered in the future. Okay. And on that note, I would like to get going with some rapid fire questions with you probably right? And I would like you to just enlighten everyone with the knowledge you have and with the experience you have, right? So let's, shall we start? Are you all geared
Yes,
up?
yes, yes,
Amazing,
I would
amazing.
love to.
Yes, amazing. So before I start, I want to exactly know कि हम एक्चुअली में शुरुआत कहाँ से करें? आपको क्या लगता है कि हम पोर्टफोलियो की शुरुआत कैसे करें?
Okay, so before coming to any investment portfolio, first thing is we should know, we as in every person, every individual, be it a women or a men, first we should know where are we standing actually as on date. So like they say, सात वर्षन शादी के. So there are 7 golden steps to start the investment. So the first is you should know where you stand. First, just note down what is the current income sources, what are your liabilities. It means if you are running any debt, any loans, any credit card dues, what are your monthly spends, what are your household spends, what are you spending money on. A to Z of that should be noted down and you should be aware of it. You should not be, if someone asks what is your monthly income and what are your monthly expenses, income, if it is salary or business, someone will still know that, but expenses you will not have so much idea about. First is note down where you stand and then identify what is your income and what is your expenses. That is the first step. And then bifurcate all your fixed expenses into what into fixed expenses and variable expenses. Expenses are, it may be rent, it may be your housing loan which is going on. Variable would be things you like splurge on, going out, traveling, hobby, etc. So that's the first step. Then moving on to the second step, then you have to note down what you want to achieve financially. So you have to set your goals. Like, for example, if you want to buy a house 10 years down the line, then you have to start investing for that goal. You want to travel the world, that's an excellent choice, but you need to save money for that. So set your goals in a way that you know what are your short term goals and what are your long term goals. Short term goals can be a quick holiday, probably within India or outside, a short one. Long term goal would be your children's education, retirement planning. You have to move to a bigger house, you have to make additional investments. It could be anything. So when I say short term goals, those are 1 to 3 years goals. And then long term goals are generally 10 years plus goals. And you should have a thumb rule that at least 20% of the income earned during a month should be saved. That's the first step.
Okay, amazing, amazing, and I love this idea of Sat Vachan and Sat steps towards your financial empowerment. I love this idea completely, and in fact, like you were saying, that 20% should be saved. I had read in this book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. I read there that whatever income you are earning, okay, so you first decide how much you're going to spend, how much you're going to save. First you keep the amount aside, whatever you want to save, and then whatever is left over is your disposable income now. Okay, so and actually we work the other way around. After the expenses have been done, now whatever is left over is actually the savings now. So it's just that we need to change the mindset, probably, right? We have to change we have to change the mindset towards what we want to achieve and how we're going to achieve actually that financial freedom needs to be achieved that way. I think, and that's a perfect, wonderful idea you have shared with. I'm so happy that my followers are getting all that gyan from the CA himself today. Okay, I want to ask you one more question. Now, when you say that there has to be some savings का कोई आसान रास्ता भी होता है क्या?
Uh, See, first of all, I would like to say, as you said, first you should save and then you should think about spending. So, likewise, Warren Buffett, who is the stalwart investor across the world, he also says that if you have a habit of spending on the things that you don't need today, then tomorrow you would have to sell the things that are needed or the bare necessities that you have. So you need to be very careful if you are a spendthrift. So that's the thing that you have to keep in mind. See, the simple thumb rule is 45, 35, and 20. 45% of your income should be making part of your household expenses. 35% of your income can be spent on your hobbies or the things that you would love to do. And then 20% should be at least savings. But you should make this 20% aside first and then think about remaining things.
Yes, I think that's a wonderful thing. And would you like to add some more insight into it? Like, I would like to know more about it, how we can save further.
Yeah. So, for example, I'll move on to the third point. First is you should, when you have noted down what are your debts or liabilities, then you should think of what are the debts that carry highest rate of interest. See, people these days have a fancy of using credit cards. Just plastic money, you have it in your pocket with a huge credit limit, just splurge. Go to the mall, some things you like, you tend to pick them up, and later you realize, oh, these are a waste. I'm not using it. So you should ensure that credit card spends should be taken care of. You should clear your dues within time so that there is no interest, because credit cards charge an interest of a whooping 24% to 40% in some cases. And that's like you will end up paying almost 60 to 80% cost of the items purchased on them. So clear your high interest debt first. First, credit card debt should be cleared, and then it will ensure that. See, there is a saying in Hindi that अनचाही देनदारियां ना होना अच्छी नींद के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. If you want to sleep peacefully, then you should be debt free. And the feeling to not
There is one
owe
more saying.
anything. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, yeah. Please go on. Sorry.
No, I was just saying the feeling of not owning something to someone is a great feeling, and that is also
Yes,
a
yes.
great reason to be happy about.
Yes, true, very true. In fact, there is one more saying which I used to hear from my dadi and nanis that jitni chadar ho utne pair phailane chahiye. Right? You shouldn't be actually like you said that the credit cards have become a temptation to buy more and more. I understand the economy is going great, okay, and it is on the boom, but that doesn't mean that it will not go down the line as well. It's a business cycle. It will happen. So why don't you save something for the rainy days beforehand, instead of just getting into the rainy days and then just like आप फिर विचार कर रहे हो कि आपके सेविंग्स कहाँ चली गई और आपके पास पैसे नहीं है, ठीक है? उससे बेटर है कि यू डिसाइड वेयर यू नीड टू स्पेंड बिफोर हैंड ओनली. यू नीड टू बी वेरी माइंडफुल एक्चुअली. Okay, and I think that's a very good idea. All right, I want to know, do you, like I said, save for the rainy days? So do you have any thought about the emergency funds? How can
Yeah,
we work
absolutely.
around?
Uh, See, these times, everyone knows that how badly Corona has hit the world, and lakhs and lakhs of people have lost their jobs or their earnings have reduced. So, it is necessary to have an emergency fund on hand. When I say emergency fund, it should be the money that is available to you at hand, means like a very short notice within a span of, let's say, immediately or not later than 1 or 2 days. And that amount should be at least around your 6 months monthly expenses. You should have that money handy, that if something unforeseen happens, then you should be able to have that fund handy, so that your day to day expenses are taken care of. Like, you should not be thinking that how the next month's groceries will come, how
Hmm,
my
yes.
child's education will be funded,
Hmm,
what will
true.
happen if I'm, let's say, having a car, then whether I would be able to travel with the car any longer or not. So those things should be taken care of for at least 6 months. And that emergency fund should only be used at the time of emergency. It should not happen that oh, मेरा emergency fund तो है, मुझे इच्छा हो रही है एक फॉरेन हॉलीडे करने की, चलो मेरे इमरजेंसी फंड से ले लेते हैं, इमरजेंसी फंड बाद में बना लेंगे. So these things will tend to destroy
Yes,
you
yes,
financially. So you
yes.
should have that discipline. See, if you have a discipline, then everything will be taken care of. Come what may, whatever emergency comes, whatever disaster comes, pandemic comes and go. So financially, these things will help you secure your future.
Yes, amazing, amazing. I think that's actually a very good idea that the emergency fund should be actually kept aside. You shouldn't be touching that. And I read somewhere, I think Brian Tracy's book, I have read that we call it as a run rate. That what is your run rate? So if, God forbidden, your income is not flowing in, what what will be the span of time that you will be able to sustain with the current expenses? So longer the period, the better your run rate is. It's like that, right? So I think that's an amazing idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, tell me one thing. Um, uh, do you have any kind of I would say with respect to any suggestions with respect to term and health insurance? Like we see nowadays, especially during the time of Corona, people are actually going and running, rushing towards buying these health and term insurance policies, which they were not very sensitive about earlier. Okay, and how we can actually build those sensitivities around. So, if you can enlighten on that part.
Yeah. Uh, so, as you rightly said, term and health insurance is the fifth point that I was coming from. So, it is essential to have a term insurance for all the people who are earning. So, if someone is dependent on you, and let's say something unforeseen happens to you, then your family should be able to have that same kind of income to sustain the same level of lifestyle that they are used to. It should not happen that if someone passes away or gets terminally sick or handicapped or especially abled, then they have no means to run their family. So that's where insurance comes in. You should have adequate term insurance to ensure that you have financial freedom. And people generally mix insurance with investment. Just make it clear that insurance is not an investment instrument. It is something to take care of emergency conditions that may come in. It is an expense that is a priority. So one day you should not think about having a pizza, but you should think about paying the premium of term insurance. It will help a lot. And I have seen families who are actually destroyed due to corona because they have not gone for insurance cover, term insurance. So it is unfortunate, but sadly it's true.
Yes, right,
Yeah.
right,
And
right.
yeah. And secondly, health insurance. So now
Mhm.
all we have seen that what medical bills can run into. They can run into lakhs and lakhs of rupees and even more than that. So there are good health insurance plans which are available at relatively low premium. And the best part is if you start at an early age, then the premiums are really low and the coverage is quite high. So those plans will ensure that if a medical emergency arises, it may not be able to cure you physically, but it will help you financially and it will help you in paying the hospital bills. And you won't have to look upon anyone else for help. Because I know personally, when some of the loved ones were in hospital, fortunately, we didn't have to run for money because of adequate insurance covers. But I've seen people who have to tell doctors that please just put away the ventilator because we do not have any more funds. So you can think how sad and how difficult time it would be for someone to take that decision to let their loved ones go.
Yes,
So
I think
such
that's a
things can be avoided.
yes, yes. It's a very painful situation, and I'm aware of it very well. There is this one question which has just arrived, and I think it is a right time to answer because since you're talking about the life insurance and the term insurance, so the question is it like the life insurance? This is what being asked.
No, this is see relating to hospital bills. It is the health insurance that will take care of
Mhm.
your medical bills. Term insurance is something which is your life cover. That if you lose your life or you are permanently incapacitated, then term insurance come into play that they will pay you a lump sum amount what
Okay.
you have opted for,
All right.
and your family can sustain the same way of life. So generally they say that it
All
should
right.
be 20
Okay. And
times your annual income. So let's say if you are currently earning 1 lakh rupees, then at least you should have an insurance cover of 20 lakhs.
that's an amazing mathematics. I think that's going to help many out there. Tell me one thing. Like I have many times I've heard you talking about to your clients as well about the top up. So what is actually the top up?
See, so there is a base insurance, that is your base medical policy, health insurance. Let's say that particular policy gives you a medical cover of 5 lakhs. The premium of those 5 lakhs, that is the basic sum insured, would be little higher because the chances of that policy get coming into play, like if someone gets ill and there is some requirement, those are higher. So there are top ups available in the market which gives you some assured over and above your basic policy. So I can give you an example like for a family of 3, the basic sum insured, the policy will have a 5 lakh. Let's take example of 5 lakh policy for a 40-year-old person along with the family which consists of spouse and a child. That would cost around roughly 12,000 to 15,000 approximately. And if you take a top up from some other insurance company, the premium and the coverage of around 50 lakhs to 90 lakhs, see the difference, it's almost 10 to 20 times more than the sum insured, will be available at a premium of 5,000 to 10,000. It will vary upon insurer to insurer, but you can see what is the coverage and what is the premium. So It is an amazing coverage. Everyone should ideally go for it when everyone has seen how Corona has emptied the pockets, given a dent, and it will be an expense which you will cherish for your lifetime. God forbid, no one should be able to use it. Everyone should remain healthy, happy, but this is meant for unforeseen circumstances.
Okay, okay. Going ahead with this understanding, like like whatever you said is with respect to the youth right now, or the people who are in the, I think, at the time of their highest incomes, probably. Okay. What about the people who are on the downhill, the people who are retiring? So, what about the retirement planning? If if you can just throw some light on that.
Yeah. See, first and foremost thing is that's my sixth point on the retirement planning. First and foremost thing is you should start early, ideally, so that once the retirement age comes, you should have sufficient funds to carry on for at least, let's say, next 20 or 25 years. Life expectancy has increased. People live longer, and they should live a healthy as well as a life which they can be proud of. They should not be living a life of depending on someone. See, emotional dependence is perfectly fine. You can be emotionally dependent on your kids or someone else, but being financially independent is a boon, and that gives an entirely different feeling. Because I have seen people whom I know who are financially dependent on their children, and they are very sad about it. They don't want to do it, but they have no other option. So, being emotionally dependent is perfectly fine. You are in a society, you are emotionally dependent, you love your children, they love you, it's reciprocal. But being financially independent will give you a different feeling. See, like my parents always used to say कि बेटा हम यही चाहते हैं हमारा हाथ हमेशा आशीर्वाद देने के लिए उठे, कभी मांगने के लिए ना उठे. So if you want to lead that kind of a life after retirement, then you should start early. Start early. Later, I will share you some examples of when you start early, what wonders it can do to your financial health. And even if people have not started early, then there are schemes for retired people, such as senior citizen saving schemes, LIC, Pradhan Mantri Vyay Bandhan Yojana, and some other schemes which give them an interest rate of more than 7% currently, and they can invest the funds that they will get at the time of retirement, like gratuity, superannuation, if they are investing into that. But if they start early, then they can still invest into those funds and have additional sources of income to enjoy the life happily, and then they can travel, they can be with their kids, we can be with the grandchildren and enjoy the life independently. They should not look upon like, oh, मेरा बच्चा मुझे महीने के एंड में या महीने के शुरू में पैसे भेजेगा तभी मेरा घर चलेगा. वो फीलिंग उनको होगी ही नहीं. And that will be a wonderful feeling, trust me.
Yes, amazing. I think that's a wonderful thing you have shared with, and I think there are a couple of policies also you have shared. And I want all of you women out there, not just women, in fact, men also, please do take advantage of these things. It will help you. It will help you. And coming on to that help, like I said earlier, financial literacy is like below poverty line with the people in India. Okay, so what would you suggest to the viewers out there?
See, the last point of the seven wonderful points, or the seven golden rules that I was talking about, last point is always seek professional advice. See, always seek help of a financial planner, independent financial advisor before you make investments, and review it regularly. There is nothing wrong in seeking an advice because people are there to help who have the knowledge. Be open with them, let them know what are your goals, and you also study independently. See, this is the information technology age, everything is available on fingertips. You have to educate yourself, attend workshops, attend seminars. If you don't like it, then also seek financial help, because ultimately if you seek advice, then only you will come to know and make your way towards right investments, because wrong investments made today will make your future very bleak. So go out, seek advice, ready to pay for the advice. If it is based on any fee, please be ready to, and I'm sure that that money will be very well spent and will definitely secure your future.
Actually, that's a very valid point out there, that people hesitate lot, right? I feel somewhere that the people shouldn't be hesitating at all. They should actually go ahead and ask for help. If you are not aware of it, it's perfectly fine. सबको सारी knowledge हो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. And sometimes वो inclination भी होता है कि हमारा inclination नहीं है उस domain की तरफ. It's perfectly fine. But then these two things which you have said, that seek help and uh, look out for opportunities to support your learning curve. I think these two things are amazing. Amazing. Acha, I have always like we had discussion earlier also, and I've always seen you vouching for this one statement. Okay, and the statement you have always says that have another child, okay, or have an extra child. So what is the logic around it, and I want my viewers to be enlightened by this fact.
uh yeah, that's a point which I firmly believe in. Means personally also and professionally also, I advise would advise everyone that you should also always make room for one child additionally, apart from the children you are having. If people do not have a child, they don't wish to go for children, then also they should make provisions for one child. And that one child is no one but investment. And why I say this is because a child is someone who gets the top priority. Means like everyone should see at their homes that if there is a small child, the child will get all the benefits, preferences, love, care, affection, whatnot from everyone in the family. See, people might have differences amongst themselves, but if there is a child, then he or she will get everything that he desires for. And you, as a parent, also, you will do your best, go out of your comfort zone and make things for the child work. People want best education, best health, everything for the child. So if you think investment as your child, then you will make sure that you are investing in the best. And as the saying goes, that poot kapoot to kya dhan sanchay, poot sapoot to kya dhan sanchay. So this particular child will always turn into a sapoot or suputri. It will never fail you,
Yes, right.
because
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there are
please.
children who give financial stress to their parents. They demand money from the parents, and they just empty parents pockets. So if god forbid such child exists in your life, then you are gone. You will be emotionally and financially stressed for rest of your life. But if you have made the right investment choices, then this particular child will always be standing as a pillar of strength for you.
Yes, right. I think that's a wonderful thing you have shared. That we should always accommodate for one extra child there, and this child, whether anyone else has been helping you or not, चाहे आपका अपना बच्चा आपकी मदद करे नहीं करेगा, मगर ये एक बच्चा ऐसा है जिसको अगर आप संचय करोगे तो ये आपको आगे जाके बहुत हेल्प करेगा. It will work as a spinal cord to you. And I think that's a wonderful thing you have shared. Okay, now when you are sharing so much, and I'm so intrigued actually to know what all plans are there available in the market अगर आप कुछ एग्जांपल्स दे सको, लोगों को समझा सको कि आप इन इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो, ठीक है? इफ दैट कैन बी डन.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first, I would start with plans that are secured, means which give fixed rate of return, and they are guaranteed. I mean, guaranteed when it is guaranteed by Government of India. So, they are the most secured plans available in the market. So, first of them is a public provident fund. So, the tenure is of 15 years. You can invest 1.5 lakhs annually in PPF account. You will get a tax exemption as well, and the maturity benefit is also exempted completely. The interest is also exempt. So you should start and open a PPF account surely and keep investing in that. So if I was earlier talking about the numbers, so let's say if you are investing 1.5 lakhs every year since you start your job, let's say at the age of 25 you start investing 1.5 lakhs every year, and diligently as a in a disciplined manner you keep investing for next 25 years. Generally the retirement age is 60, but I think people after 50 should have their own life, whether they want to work or not. They should enjoy life after that. So if they do that for 25 years, can you imagine what is the amount of money that they will be having after 25 years? They will have a total sum of more than 1 crore after age of 50, and the invested amount would be around 37.5 lakhs. So that is the power of compounding that I was talking about. Start early, invest regularly, you enjoy your future.
That was amazing, maths. Thank you so much. In fact, I felt like just go and invest into some more into my PPF account. Thank you. Okay, some more, please. I would like to have more here.
Yeah. Yes. So, like as you know, previously people used to have pension, so they thought their retirement life is secured. Now, like in private organization, government organizations also, pension is not there. Instead of that, there is national pension scheme. So, which invest into fixed deposits, securities, as well as the market. So that is the second option of NPS also, because the rate of return generally NPS ranges around 9% to 11%. PPF rate was 7%, 7.1% currently. NPS the return is a bit higher than that. So NPS is also a good option to invest in. It also gives an additional tax benefit on contributions of 50,000 over and above the 1,50,000 limit. So that is also a good investment option to be considered, and it is managed by the top fund houses like ICICI, HDFC, etc.
Okay, that's again okay. Tell me one thing. Like since we are talking about women and we are talking about women getting financially empowered, I have always seen this thing that we women are very much inclined towards gold and jewelry. Okay, and we see it as not just the luxury, of course, uh, right, but then also as an investment. कि अगर मेरे पास पैसा है तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं गोल्ड जाके खरीद लूंगी तो मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट भी हो जाएगा एट द सेम टाइम आई एम हैप्पी विद द फैक्ट दैट आई हैव गॉट अ गोल्ड ज्वेलरी हियर. Okay, but then of late I've been able to understand this thing that it is not a very good idea to have a gold jewelry as an investment. So can you just talk about that a little bit more?
I think that's a very great point that you have raised, and especially women are emotionally attached to the gold, and it is also called as,
I'm also too attached.
see, and definitely that's why it is called as Stridhan.
Yes, yes. And in fact, I feel कि क्योंकि उसकी चमक ही ऐसी होती है कि हमारी आंखें चौंध जा जाती है उसके बाद कोई लॉजिक काम नहीं आता. So I want you to give us the logic, please.
Yeah, so see, buying gold jewelry is obviously an emotional attachment and very near to women. But when they talk about, like, let's say if you have a girl child, people say we will save it for her, buy jewelry for her. And let's say 20 years down the line, will that same jewelry will be in the trend, or it would be in the market? Absolutely not. There will be new designs, new things, and the child would say, "Oh, mama, ये तो 20 साल पुरानी है, इतनी मुझे पुरानी क्यों दे रहे हो? मुझे तो नया लेना है." And then you will end up uh, being disappointed, and then you will also sell that off and exchange it with a new trend of jewelry, which will incur making charges twice, impurity, all those things. Now think, if there is an investment that will give you an interest, an investment in gold that will give you annual interest, at the same time, at the time of maturity, it will give you the market value of gold at the time of maturity, and that particular capital gain, if there is any, that is also exempt. If you have such an instrument, then why you should buy gold physically for future needs? You should not. And in addition to that, the same investment is 100% secured. So such a scheme is sovereign gold bonds, which is a government of India scheme. It is issued by RBI. You can invest electronically. It will the gold can be brought from right from a mere 1 gram to 4 kgs for an individual. And guess what? If you buy it online into your demat account, you get a discount of 50 rupees per gram as well. And annually 2.5% interest is also paid on that particular amount. After 8 years, you will get whatever the gold market price is on the future date of maturity. So you should think of such options where you should make your money work. See, ideally, you should have a life where money is working for you and you are enjoying. Whether you are working, it is just for passion. You should not be working 50 years down the line to sustain your basic needs. That's not the world we are living for.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, and you have talked a lot about the working women, but I want you to just focus on the girl child as well, because they are the one who are the upcoming Sheroes or the Sheroes in making. So if you can give some investment scheme for the upcoming Sheroes as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, like as I said, PPF is a very good investment scheme for everyone, whether it is men, women. But for girl child, government has a great scheme which gives an interest which is higher than PPF, and at the same time, it is guaranteed secured investment schemes, which is known as Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. Same, it has the same amount where you can invest 1.5 lakhs every year in the name of girl child for continuously for 15 years. That amount can be withdrawn when the girl child attains the age of 18 for higher education purposes, or after 21 years it will get matured. So if you invest from year 1 when your girl child is born, then if you invest 1.5 lakhs annually, then after 21 years the amount would be roughly more than 63 lakhs when she is 21. So that is absolutely a good amount to take care of higher education. Let's say she wants to study in best of the universities, she can easily go. You don't have to take any loan, you don't have to rely on someone. And I have seen that people saying that अगर हमारे माँ बाप के पास पैसे होते तो हम यहाँ पढ़ लेते, हम वहाँ पढ़ लेते. So those that situation will not arise. You will have all the monetary support for your higher education. So that is something which every parent should keep investing in for a girl child to have a wonderful education or for her wedding.
Okay, amazing. I think I would like to add there, like you said earlier, have an extra child. make accommodations for the extra child, I think that extra child will stand like a brother to this particular Shiro in making, right? I think that's a wonderful idea there. But whatever we have discussed so far, Bhavya, it is from the long term perspective. What about the short term perspective? Because I see probably my long term things are secured very much, but then there are survival issues in the short term. So if I survive today, then only I'll be able to long for a longer time period. Okay, so if you can suggest something for the short term as well.
Yeah. See, for short term, one thing you have to ensure that the money is handy, which is available to you at a short notice. So you should go for safe instruments like fixed deposits. And if someone is earning monthly and wants to set aside a sum for saving for a short term goal coming up, like a short family trip or a function, anything it could be, then they should have an investment in recurring deposits. See, the fixed deposits and recurring deposits will give you an interest which is more than the savings account. So your money should not be lying idle in your savings account. That's the worst part. So best thing is invest and keep your money into fixed deposits, recurring deposits. You can have standing instructions to your bank that this much of amount is directly made into a fixed deposit at the beginning of every month. So it will give you a financial discipline, and at the same time, if you need money at a short notice, you can break that FD and get the money. Once the recurring deposit matures, you will have the money handy. It will be of a duration of 6 months to 12 months, or as you may like.
All right, okay. And any other apart from the fixed, like many people these days, I've seen these advertisements also that mutual funds are here, right? And there are many people who get very much attracted with the market. Okay, that we should invest in the market, we should invest in the market, but then they don't have any idea about the market. Okay, so for those enthusiastic learners, I want you to just comment something.
Yeah. See, mutual funds are a great way of investing. So, like we discussed, there is financial illiteracy, and for people who want to invest in the market, there are mutual funds available which are managed by expert asset managers. They know the business well, they are into the market, experienced, and they know the affairs which are running domestically as well as internationally, which impact the money making game. So there are types of mutual fund. Mutual fund is just not investing in equities. Mutual funds are of various types. They are equity oriented mutual funds which invest into share market. There are mutual funds which are debt oriented, which invest in corporate debts, corporate bonds, government securities, etc. Then there are mutual funds which are hybrid, which is a mix of debt and equity. So they are relatively safer. The risk categorization is lower than equity oriented mutual funds. Then there are liquid funds which invest into fixed deposits or government securities for a shorter term. So, like as I said, you can invest for a shorter term in fixed deposits. You know what the global organizations or large multinationals do? They invest their money in liquid funds. Can you imagine what would be the duration for which they invest in?
I'm not sure.
They invest in liquid funds for as low as 1 day or 2 days. So,
Oh,
for example, you know that there is a upcoming holiday on a weekend. So if they have an excess of, they have used sums of money obviously, so they know that for next 3 days they won't be requiring any funds which are lying in their current account, and obviously that will not be yielding any interest to them, so they will invest in liquid funds for 3 days. See, that will also generate some money for them. That's how their treasury departments makes money. Is there
oh
are
wow.
umpteen number of ways, but this is one of them. So this can also be done.
That's actually that's mind blowing idea. My mind is blown completely with that idea. Amazing, amazing. And can you put a little more like you have talked about the mutual fund? What about the equities?
Equity. See, that's a topic which is very close to my heart. And uh, can you wonder that? Do you think that Mukesh Ambani, Mr. Narayan Murthy, or Mr. Tata, such stalwarts, can you think that they can work for you?
I would love to have them working for me.
See, it's possible. See, all their companies are listed in stock exchanges. If you buy shares of the companies which are owned by them, then actually you are a equity partner. You are having a stake in their company. And as those company grows, definitely those returns will be reaped by them in the larger proportion, but some profits will also flow to you. So that's the magic of equity markets, and it can give you wonderful returns. There are people who have earned a fortune, but the key to invest in equity market is to have patience. It cannot happen. See, double the money in 5 days. Those things can work for one in a million, but it will be at the cost of million people losing the money and giving it to that one person. See, there is a saying like equity market is a game where patient person earns money from the impatient people. See, ultimately it's a zero sum game. No one is giving anything out of the pocket. Someone is losing, someone is gaining.
Yeah,
That's the
right.
whole sum. So you need to be patient if you want to invest in equities. So you
Mm.
can imagine, like, uh, fortunately today only the markets in India, both Sensex and Nifty, have touched their lifetime highs. So just imagine in 100 rupees that was in 1979 invested in Sensex. The Sensex is now 57,000, more than that, but it is 100 rupees have turned into 57,000. That is a period of close to 42 years, and that's a return of close to 15 to 16% on an aggregate basis. So this is the magic of equity market, but you have to be patient, you need to be skilled, you need to check your portfolio regularly, you need to be aware in which companies you are investing, what they are doing, what they are not doing correctly, what is their future plan. You have to be on the top if you want to invest directly in equity market, and it is a field of experts. See, because if you are believing on the tips rumors, then you are finished. It You will just end up giving your hard earned money to someone who is more intelligent than you. And it is always a case, you will say मैंने equity में इतना profit कमाया, then 10 people will come and say चलो party दे दो. But when you will say that I have lost all the money, no one will say that okay, I will share the loss. So you have
Yeah,
to,
yeah, that's right. That's very true. Very true.
be aware about what you are doing.
Yes, I think knowledge empowers you. Knowledge is the
Yeah.
key here, and that will take you towards your empowerment and securing your future financially. And if you're aware, then it is the best thing actually, this is the best thing you can give to yourself in a secured future, right? Okay. Since we are talking about the market, how can we do the trading? Share trading हम कैसे?
See, share trading sounds like it is a very easy thing. You can open a demat account. It is done online within 3 days. Zip, zap, zoom. You will start earning. But if you go by the statistics, people who do trading, more than 98% of people are losing their money. They are losing their capital which they have put in. So that's the percentage of people who lose their money in trading. It may
So that's,
sound
yeah,
illogical, unreasonable, but that's a fact. And this
it
is
may
not
sound
in
like
India, it
this.
is across the
Hmm.
world.
Yeah, it is sounding like this that the instant noodles doesn't actually serve you here. They will not going to quench your thirst or hunger at any point of time. Yes.
See, it is a highly skilled game. You have to be on the screen fully during the market hours, and also if you are carrying any position in trading, then you have to think about what is the impact, what are the global things, what happened globally, what America did to China, what China did, whether there is an attack, whether there is a change in global prices. See, for example, if you have invested in metal shares, suddenly China stops production of metals, there will be a boom in prices. And if you are having a short position in equities, you are gone. All your hard earned money will go bankrupt in seconds. It won't last any time. So such is the risk. And it can be other way also, but generally retail traders end up losing. So please be very careful if you are trading in equity markets or commodities. It is not a game of unskilled people. It is not a time pass. It is not a part-time profession. It is a full-time, highly skilled. See, even the stalwarts of equity market say about investing for a long term. It is a not a short-term game. So you have to be very careful because it is your hard-earned money. You should not let it go. See, people who have made money from the market, they believe in a philosophy that you should minimize your losses and maximize your gains. And people have a tendency, if I'm losing money, then I'll keep that share. कभी ना कभी तो बढ़ेगा, मेरा भाव आएगा क्या? And they tend to lose out on profit making opportunities. See, because there is an emotional attachment, मुझे loss नहीं हो सकता, which is a myth.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Right.
So be very
Okay.
careful. That
And
would be my advice. And seek financial help from expert advisors before making any decisions.
yeah, I think, like you said, you need to be very careful. You need to be very mindful about where you are investing and how you are investing. Okay, and you need to be upgraded and updated with the knowledge whatever you have. Okay, and the best advice I think you have given, if you don't understand, seek help. Seek help. That's the best thing you can do for yourself and for securing the future of your loved ones and for your own self. There's one question here: how can someone get the knowledge on the share market?
Uh, See, for knowledge on the share market, there are a lot of things available online, and there are financial intermediaries which have short courses on basics of share market. So people can go online, attend those courses. There are material available, and there is National Stock Exchange which conducts program on basics of share market, basics of investing in share market, in commodities, futures and options, equities, everything. So there are a lot of courses and help available which you should go through first before starting investing in share markets. And initially you should start with mutual funds first, because that is where experts will come and they will do it on your behalf. Once you understand, then slowly you can go into the market. But make sure whatever money you are investing in the market is something that you can spare off easily, which is not something which you have taken out for your basic necessities. It should not happen that, let's say, if you are in need for the money after 1 month and you have invested in the market, the markets may go down and you will end up losing a lot of money. And but you will have no option but to sell at a loss, because you will be in urgent need of the money at that particular point of time. So always ensure that you are very careful, because you have to protect the money which you have earned hardly. You cannot let it go easily.
Right. Okay. And Bhavya, there is this thing also that we have seen our Indian society, and we have seen that people are not very, like I discussed earlier also, that they, since they do not have a financial literacy, they always look out for the safer options. However, you have discussed some safer options for the long term. Okay. Would you also discuss some safer options in the short term or the medium term as well?
See, safer options, like I said, fixed deposit, they are also a relatively safer option. And you can have a fixed deposit for a slightly medium term perspective. It would be 3 to 5 years. You can have mutual funds also, which are investing into safe instruments, which is like there are mutual funds who invest into government securities, which are guaranteed by government. So you can go for those mutual funds as well for a shorter duration. And apart from that, there are other bonds which are secured. You can invest in those instruments also, which are issued by public sector banks and government from time to time. There are bonds which are issued by National Highway Authorities of India, Rural Electrification Corporation. There are such bonds which are secured, and since these are public sector undertakings, so your amount will be secured as well as you will be earning a decent amount of interest and your money will be safe.
Okay, okay. And there is one question here. The viewer wants to have little more understanding about the mutual funds.
Okay, so means it's a very long topic. We can have
Yeah.
sessions for weeks altogether on mutual funds. But see, mutual fund basically is something where people are pooling money to buy shares or investing in debt instruments or a mix of both. And there are various other kind of mutual funds as well. So this is a basic. So let's say if you want to buy 200 shares of, for an example, Reliance Industries, just as an example. So those 200 shares, right now Reliance Industries is quoting at more than 2000 rupees. So you would be needing a large amount of money. But let's say you have only 2000 rupees to invest in. You want to buy Reliance, Infosys, TCS, everything. You cannot buy individually all these shares because this amount required will be huge. But let's say you have a 10 group of friends who have pooled in some amount of money together, and let's say you have contacted an expert who is an expert asset manager who have the required licenses in the financial field. So he will take that money, a pool of money, and he will invest in the market on your behalf, means behalf of all the 10 people who have formed that group. So that is how mutual fund works. So they take money from the public who have invested. It is a pool money, and then they invest in the market, and they issue units of mutual funds, and then you can reap the benefits of the amount that you have invested in. So without investing large amount of money, you can reap the benefits, and you can
Okay.
take advantage of the growth in the industry.
Hmm. That's, I think, amazing, amazing information you have shared. Um, and what the gist I can draw with all these things. And I think I have many a times I have heard you instructing your clients and everyone, do not put all your eggs in one basket. So if you can just sum up with this.
Yeah, so as they say that do not put all your eggs in one basket, because if something happens to one asset class, let's say you have invested in real estate, everything what you have earned you have invested in real estate, and real estate market collapses, then you will be on the road, you will be finished financially. And let's say there is another person who has earned same amount of money as you earned. He has invested 10% in real estate, 10% in fixed deposit, 10% in mutual funds, 10% in equities, and so on. What will happen if the real estate market collapses? That person will lose 10% of his wealth, but that other 90% will still be available with him, And the chances are, when you have a diversification, chances are that your wealth, some of it will definitely give you a lower return, some of it will give you a very high return. You will have definitely a good portfolio with good amount of income over a period of time that will balance it out. So as they say in equities, ideally you should have an investment of 100 minus your age. So if you are 40 years old, then investment in equity should be 100 minus 40, that is 60, and rest you can invest in debt instruments. As you grow older, since equities is a riskier asset class, your investment should reduce from equity and go into debt funds. So that's how it works. You should review your portfolio regularly, consider financial help always, and definitely you are going to have a very secured financial future, not only for yourself, but for your family as well, for your loved ones. So be healthy financially. That's what I would like to say at the end.
Amazing, amazing. I think to sum up here, I would like to tell all the viewers out there, all the followers out there, please be mindful of where you are investing. Empower yourself with the knowledge and skill set, and then start investing there. Okay, it requires a lot of effort you need to put up there. We have shared so many instruments where you can have a safe bet, wherein you can start from probably tomorrow itself. Okay, so you should actually go ahead and just take that knowledge from the experts and start doing some safer options. Okay, start looking for safer options, like CA Bhavya Chaturvedi talked about the seven principles for your financial freedom. Please follow those seven principles. Be clear about what your goals are in the future, and depending upon your goals, please design a portfolio for yourself. And if you are unable to design your portfolio as of now, seek the financial help there. Okay. On that note, this is Richa Chaturvedi, and that's my guest, CA Bhavya Chaturvedi. We take your we would like to say goodbye to you. We want you to be healthy, safe, and just be secure with respect to your future. Okay, and be financially empowered. The financial empowerment is very easy to attain with the small little tips what we have discussed today. It is very easy to attain. It's just that you need to be a little more careful there. Okay, on that note, we take a goodbye from you all. Love you all. Stay healthy, stay safe, and uh, just lots of love for you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sir Bhavya. Thank you for sharing all the knowledge which you have shared. I think that's a gold which you have shared today. I'm not talking about the gold bonds, but yes, the gold you have shared today, and I'm so happy and enlightened. In fact, me myself, I've got so much of information today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Risha. And at the end of it, like as our honorable Prime Minister always says, Atmanirbhar Bharat, so I would say that women should also be financially Atmanirbhar. Thanks, and
That's
thanks a
amazing.
lot for having me here.
Yeah, and there is one suggestion which has come up. Please organize a session on how gold bonds and other assets can be used for further financial independence. So probably I think we can have one more session at a later stage, right? But yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that information. That information is seriously a gold. Thank you. All
Okay,
right.
thanks.
Bye bye everyone. Bye.